First, always know your model number, and the model number is usually inside the door, and this is where I found mine right there. Okay, so if you're looking for the model number, it's inside the door. Okay, time to put this gas dryer back together. Here's the door. I try to keep this as short as I can. We'll go step by step. I'm doing reverse. In other words, I didn't videotape taking it apart, but by doing it in reverse, you'll see how it's actually easy to take apart. So here we go. After you've taken it apart, always make sure that these rollers roll freely, okay? These were pretty gummy when I took it apart. They're both rolling pretty nice now. And then also the idler, which I found right there when I took it apart because the belt came off. And the belt came off because there was a heat shield stuck to this inside the lid, which I can show you where it's right here. Okay, this was stuck here, and it fell onto the belt, and so it screwed everything up, and the belt jumped and it came off. So I'll have to probably either take this off completely and see if it heats up in this area. I don't see any reason why it should. Maybe there's heat coming out of here, but then this being here is probably about here, which I don't think any area in here would heat up. So I'm just going to take it off and see how it does for the first few times she uses it, and if it doesn't heat up, then we'll be good. If it does, I'll have to find some other way to replace this heat shield. Again, to make sure everything always turns freely, I put a little oil in here. I can't get to the back, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. This unit's about 10 years old, so I think we'll be okay. So we'll start by putting the drum back in. By the way, I think this goes here, right here, like that, and the belt goes underneath. In other words, I'm going to put the belt right through here, and then it'll lift up and put tension on this in the drum, but I'll show you that when I put the belt back on. But I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Like I said, I found it in the corner. I don't have any drawings, so we'll see what happens and go from there. I've scraped most of that tar off, and on the drum itself there's tar where the belt was. Like I said, that's what I think created my problem with the belt coming off, so I'm going to scrape all that off too. I've cleaned the tar off the lid, and I cleaned all the tar that used to be right here. Most of it came off pretty easy, especially with WD-40, so it's time to put the drum in. Okay, the drum is pretty light. You can actually lift it like this and just put it back in. Holding onto the belt so it doesn't drop and mess things up. My only problem is I'm not sure I'm going to hold it right now. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay, you decided to use this strap, which I got out of my truck, and it's going to hold it there while I go down below and do what I need to do to put that idler in place, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, here comes the fun part. I'm pretty sure this goes here. Putting the lip into the slot there, and then if I put this strap underneath like this, and just, there we go, pull it all the way out until it goes into the pulley, and I think that's it. So that looks like it was pretty easy. Let me take the camera and show you. That's how it's done right there. Okay, I'm not able to turn it right now because I've got it strapped. But once I put the front back on, then it should turn freely. Okay, while I'm getting ready to put the lid back on, or I'm sorry, not the lid, the front, there's a couple hooks, one on each side. You got to hook the door in, then bring it up flush here, and then there's two screws that come in from this side. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And hopefully goes as planned. There's one side. There's the other side. Okay, finally came together. Had to work a little bit. Screw this on. Now my biggest question is going to be, will it turn? Supposed to be free floating. We'll soon find out. When I disconnected these wires before I started, just remember to plug them back in. Basically all that is for the switch. When the door's open, it stops. Alright, so we're going to try it. Okay, I'm going to show you how it runs now. I'm able to test it. And there you have it. Okay, so one thing I did notice when I put it back together, this cloth here rolled in. Part of it was rolled in, so you got to make sure that it's all out on the rim itself. And over here, there's like these little guides. You can't see it, I have to shut it off. There's guides on the drum that actually came off, so I had to take it apart again and put it back together. Let me shut it off. See these guys, these got little clips here. Well, one of them was off and in. It was making funny noises, so you got to make sure that's all good, and the belt has to be where it was, and make sure it's not twisted. And so now you're ready to put the lid back on. Okay. The lid goes back on pretty easy. There's no screws. It just basically, well, there is two screws that hold this. Let me close it real quick. That's snapped in. Then there's two screws that go in here, and we're good to go. Put it back in the house. Everybody's happy. My wife is off my back. By the way, you don't have to take the back off for any reason. There's nothing there that you need to take apart, so hopefully I won't lose the screw inside. Last thing I want to do. And once you put the screws back in, you can put that little filter back in. And she's ready to go. Let me go get the filter here. Okay. We're good to go. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.